7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
The Savachi syndrome, I'm telling you, I'm like, well, holy shit, that was crazy. Wait for it. Thick and slick. Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show, episode number 165 here. I'm your host, Travis. We are here in studio for this one here. I'm just wrapping this up here. I just got off the phone with a sponsored rider, friend of the show, Kevin Moranz here. He had a wild Tuesday Atlanta 2 race, so obviously did not race Atlanta 3 here, just watched the race. So we caught up with him, started talking about Atlanta 1, Atlanta 2, his races, how they went, and then carried over into talking about Atlanta 3 and some thoughts about the race there. It was, in preparing the show, and what I mean by preparing was watching the race last night, I was like, man, there's a lot to talk about. And then I started actually thinking about it, and there was not as much to talk about as I actually had anticipated. These Atlanta tracks were cool. They were interesting. They were obviously huge. However, as me and Kev get into, there really wasn't opportunities for a lot of passing. So outside of the crashes, there really was not a lot of racing action that really happened. There wasn't a bunch of huge separators. Obviously, in Atlanta 3 had the big whoop section, so that kind of made for some separation. But realistically, all it did was cause crashes, which is where the action happened. So we kind of broke down the race a little bit. We talked a lot about 250s. We talked a little bit about 450s because the 450 main was really, in our eyes, uneventful outside of the whole Webb Roxon thing. But we did touch on some different things. And like I said, kind of caught up with him. So before we jump into all that, let's go ahead and thank our sponsors for the show here. As always, show presented by TLR Coatings. Make sure to check them out, tlrcoatings.com. Custom powder coating, custom Cerakoting, sandblasting and vapor blasting. Make sure to check them out on social media too. That's where you'll find all the up-to-date pictures of all the projects we do here. Also, thanks to our other presenting sponsor, Premier Custom Trailers. Do you need a trailer, commercial or residential? Premier Custom Trailers has what you need. They work with the best manufacturers in the industry and specialize in all your trailer needs. Sales, service, parts, or rentals. They do it all. PremierCustomTrailers.com, located 5 minutes south of Kalamazoo and US 131 in Schoolcraft, Michigan. They put the custom in customer service. Also want to thank JT Cycle and the Dirt Bike Depot for being on board with us. Make sure to check them out. Links in the description below. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share. As once again, we are on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all the major podcast networks. We are there, so you can find us all over there. Make sure to follow us on social media. We are putting stuff up left and right here. It is coming into riding season, so we're going to have a bunch of content for the riding season. And make sure to listen to the new fantasy podcast. We started this year playing on PulpMX Fantasy. And you can win prizes and things there, so make sure to go check that out. We usually put that out like the day before the race, so that is some more content coming to you here. Once again, kind of a shorter show here. Usually we do some bigger shows, but Justin got caught up at work. Cole was out riding today. He was out of state riding today, so he couldn't make it to do the show. And yeah, so luckily, like I said, got Kev on the phone, kind of broke down the race a little bit, talked about his wild race on Tuesday and what's been going on with him and his plans for the rest of the season here as we go forward. And just kind of shot the shit for a little bit with him. So check it out. Thanks for listening, and we will talk to you guys again soon. Here we go. All right. And now, as promised, everyone, we have friend of the show, Privateer Hero. Can we call you a helicopter pilot now? Is that on your list there? Mr. Kevin Moranz.
No, it is not. How's it going? I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. I feel like I've been in a intimate relationship with you, and we have been fighting for the last 3 weeks because we haven't really talked on the show at all.
No.
So anyway, okay, we have a lot to run over. Let's we have a lot to run over with you. Did you get a chance to watch the race last night?
Yes.
Okay, cool, great. Then we'll run over some of that stuff too. Let's start with your Atlanta rounds. Let's start with the good one. Let's go to Atlanta 1. I know it seems like ages ago. It was really only a week ago, which is crazy to think because it feels like it was like 5 weeks ago. But what was Atlanta 1 like for you? We had rain. We had muddy conditions. I think you rode your practice in the rain. What was that like? What was it like being there with that huge track? Because we all know that track was gigantic. Just run us through Atlanta 1, and then we'll get to your Atlanta 2.
Biggest thing about Atlanta 1, like you said, like it was more of a Daytona-ish style track, much larger than pretty much anything we've ever raced. Track actually was pretty good. Whoops were tough, and then, we're obviously the 3 days coming up to that, we were all expecting a mutter. No rain. Looking amazing for the 250 guys. Looks amazing for the 450A. And then right at the end of 450A, it starts to rain, or like middle of 450A, starts sprinkling. End of 450A, starts raining. So, all I'm thinking is, dude, I got to get out here. I got to get as fast of a lap as I can get, as quick as possible. Because I knew the track was going to go to trash. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So get out there, we'll get a good lap in, we'll qualify in. And obviously, so after our qualifying session, it got just absolutely destroyed the track for the C group. So sucked for them. But, coming to the night show, it didn't rain at all after qualifying. Or it rained a lot, about 45 minutes after that qualifying session.
Nah, it's okay. It wouldn't be a Moto Aftermath show if we didn't have technical difficulties. So, all right. So anyway, sorry, that just cut out literally right in the middle of that. So, you were out there. You knew you had to get going quick because it was raining and the track was going to be trash. So anyway, so you get on track and.
So it went well. Got in a pretty good lap for it because by the end of our qualifying session, even the whoops were getting really tough, getting really slippery. So I pull off. And then it's just downpouring pretty much for C practice, so I knew they were pretty much screwed. And then it rained for about 45 minutes after that. They canceled the second qualifying session, and then sun popped out, and track was actually coming around pretty decent. So for heat races, it was obviously a little squirrely, but again, I got a killer start and started up front, and then ended up just dwindling back to the point where I got passed on the last lap by Chiz. Unfortunately, I think it was through the whoops.
I remember that. I was watching and I was like, I have Chiz for fantasy, but come on, Kev, get in there.
Oh, no. That's not what happened. I remember what happened. My mechanic told me I had 2 laps left.
Oh, okay.
So I did 1 lap, and I was like, okay, this is my last lap because I didn't really look for the white flag. I saw something white, but I didn't look over. So I'm assuming what ended up happening is he had the white flag just in his hand, but he wasn't waving it. Well, I didn't know that at the time. So I'm like, all right, my mechanic told me I had 2 laps left, and that was a lap ago. So this should be last lap. So before the finish line on the last lap, I went inside, and didn't double the first big double.
Ah, okay.
And Chiz did. So then we were pretty close over the finish line, but I beat him over the line like I was expecting. Well, that's when I noticed the white flag was then being thrown, and I'm like, son of a gun. So I was expecting the white flag a lap early, so I didn't have a very good drive. He got around me. I ended up actually getting passed by Dino, too, with 3 laps or 3 corners to go, and then I stuffed him in the last corner and ended up being him in the heat race to take 10th just because I didn't know. I was sitting in right after he passed me with 2 corners left, and he left the door wide open, and he was going wide to double, and I was on the inside already set up, so I just took his line away. But I was thinking, I was like, what are the chances that we are in 9th and 10th right now? And somebody went down on that last lap that I didn't see. So I was like, screw that. I'm taking his line. I'm taking that position because I'm not going to, end up getting 10th when I had that position clearly there for me to take. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's actually funny. I have GoPro footage of as soon as I was kind of cutting him off, he was screaming at me. But yeah, so ended up taking 10th in the LCQ. So I had first gate pick for 10th in the heat. So I had first gate pick for the LCQ. Just got a killer start, started second, and ended up in third. And I was like, and I knew who's in front of me, right? I knew Davlos and Noren were in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, obviously, since I beat Dino in the heat race, I was like, well, I still got Dino behind me. So I'm sitting there like, I'm in third. I can afford one more position, and I figured it would be Dino. So then on the last lap, when I got stuffed, and it ended up being Bowers, I was like, well, son of a bitch, Clyde. We have Dino still behind us.
Yep.
So, yeah, so long story short, just kind of held it out, rode as good as I could, and Starling and Dino didn't have enough time to get back up to me, so that was sweet. So we ended up making another 450 main event. And then main event I got another really, honestly, killer start from the outside. And then Jason Anderson didn't hit any of those three doubles where the finish line were on the first lap, and I rolled every single one behind him. And by the end of that, I was damn near in last, and then, just raced into 19th.
Well, hey, in the show, in the main, and, top 20 finish. I'll take it.
Yep, absolutely.
And then we get to Tuesday's race.
Yeah.
Or
that's a different story.
Or lack thereof, Tuesday's race. So why don't you walk us through your Tuesday morning there? Because that didn't seem to go well at all.
No, so in free practice, there was the same section where I ended up wrecking, but it was on a different. It was on the in between the second and third triple.
Yep.
In free practice, I hit a rut and it kind of caught my leg and threw my leg off the bike. And I wish somebody had video of it. Which actually, oh no, I did. No, I didn't. I don't think I had video of it. I might. Dang, I don't know. I need to check my GoPro. But long story short, my foot caught a deeper rut in between the two, kicked my feet off, so I was like Supermaning through the air almost, or like knack, or not knack, but like a can or whatever, like where your foot comes off the other side of the bike, right?
Yep.
And everybody in my shoulder dislocated when that happened. So as soon as I went off the face, my left shoulder had popped out just because it tugged me a weird way, right? So everybody was really expecting me to bail. And it happened so fast, dude, that I don't remember this, but everybody's like, dude, it's wild. Like you were flailing through the air and you just somehow gripped the bike and rode it out. As soon as I landed, I knew my shoulder was still dislocated, and then rolling up the face of the triple, it popped back in, which I've always kind of had problems with it just kind of rolling. It rolls in, rolls out.
Interesting.
But, I haven't had that one, like, pop out like that. So, it felt sore, but it wasn't. I don't know if you've ever dislocated a shoulder, but it's not horrid as long as it doesn't stay out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we taped it up, and then we put a shoulder brace on, and then went out for the next qualifying session, which was the actual qualifying session, not free practice. So jumped out there in second or whatever and hop into the lead before the first lap was over. And then on the second lap, came around for that section and hit it the exact same way I hit it before. But the base must have changed a little bit, or I must have hit a kicker or something. And off the first triple, it just sent me nose down. So I was panic revving, and I knew that something was not going to go right. And that's one thing I'm actually happy I remember all this, because I was in air and I was like, Kevin, you can either bail and pretty much plant your feet straight into that fourth one, like the next face. Yeah. And I was thinking, like, that's never a good thing. And you probably have the bike coming in after you too. Or I was like, at that point, I wasn't super nose down, which very shortly after that, I was too far gone. But when I made my decision to try to ride it out, I thought there was a chance, and that was what I was going for because I didn't want to bail. And, long story short, Kyle drove me into the fourth one, and then Kevin got a helicopter ride.
Oh, man. Okay, so watching, Q1 go out there. And then all of a sudden I see the medical flags there, and I'm like, oh, man, somebody must have just absolutely got thrown for a curve between that second and third one, because I've been watching, obviously, all the 250s and all the 450s up to you guys hit that second and third one, and that transition was really, like, sharp. It was G'd out, must be.
Yes. That's where my shoulder went away on me
Yeah.
in the free practice. But, yeah, this was just coming into it. This was off the first one.
So I was like, oh, man. And, like, I didn't really see you laying there or anything. I just saw the flags and everything, and they didn't know who it was at first. And I was like, oh, man, somebody got it from that second, third one. And then all of a sudden they're like, Kevin Moranz is down. I'm like, shit. And then they're like, well, they took him to the hospital. I'm like, oh, my God. Oh, fuck. Okay. All right. Well,
yeah.
Guess it's time to start figuring stuff out. So that was when
because, like, I even gave because I always 100%, like, I'm the kind of guy that as soon as I eat crap, like, I run back to the bike no matter what, or I get up and I keep going. I'm never the one that, like, kind of like just walks off the track mad or anything like that.
Yeah.
So as soon as it happened, obviously I knew it was a hard hit, and I immediately put my thumb up because I knew, like, I was more or less okay, right? Like, nothing crazy, like,
I'm not dead,
arm broken in half or anything like that. Like, nothing like crazy like that.
There's no bone sticking out.
Yeah,
we're good.
I couldn't breathe, so I just kind of stayed there, and then they put me on the. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, so they take you back.
It could have been way worse though. Like, I am blessed. Like, good Lord was looking over me. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. Now, do they take you back to the Alpine Stars medical truck at that point, or do they just go? You're complaining of abdominal pain. Let's get him out of here.
Nope. So they put me on the truck. They tried sitting me down, which is a photo that I have, which I posted in a video or whatever. But, like, the photo of me sitting on the truck, that was right when they tried to sit me down. I couldn't breathe. And I told them, I was like, I can't do this. I got to lay down. So I laid down on the stretcher board thing or whatever. They drove me over to the rig, took me in, put me on a table, hooked me up to all the I don't want to say it's an EKG or whatever, the machine that shows your heart rate and all your vitals and stuff.
Yeah.
So they were noticing that my oxygen was just kind of falling and falling and falling. And it got down to like somewhere in the low 80s, and it's not supposed to drop below 90.
Okay.
So they were getting pretty concerned with that, and I was telling them I had chest pains and stuff, and then, like, they were listening to my my breathing with one of those little, whatchamacallit, that you put in your ears.
Yeah.
And, like, you could hear, and I could feel it too when I was breathing. When I was breathing in, you could hear, like, crackling, right? So, like, they were kind of scared that maybe fluid was getting in my lungs and stuff. So that's when they kind of made their call that, it's an hour and a half drive to the hospital in an ambulance, which I don't know how realistic that was, but that was the number they gave me. Or take a helicopter ride. And, obviously the first thing you hear when you take a helicopter ride, at least in my situation, because I could still kind of breathe and everything, I was like, well, that sounds expensive. But then when that's why I was like, I even asked them, I looked at them, I was like, can I not just have, like, somebody drive me, like, in a car?
Yeah.
But then when they told me that it was an hour and a half away, one, because it's not like I'm on Google searching how far the nearest hospital is away.
Yeah.
Before I have an injury. So I didn't know. They told me an hour and a half, and that scared me because I was like, hour and a half is a long time for something to go wrong.
Yep.
But I think I really wish they would have said that it was different than that, because it was only like an hour drive in a normal vehicle. If you have your siren on in a ambulance, it's probably a 30-minute drive.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? But long story short, I'm not complaining because I'm still sitting here talking to you, right?
Yep.
So they decided to fly me. So they, start cutting take my boots off. They cut my jersey, cut my pants and stuff like that. They put me on the little stretcher thing. Helicopter shows up, and like Josh Cartwright gave me my phone and everything like that. So I actually have some video that I'll be posting probably to the Patreon and stuff like that of, like, the helicopter ride and I have some, like, behind the scenes footage stuff. So not fun, but also funny. And then, got to the hospital, just ran all sorts of different scans and tests and everything on me, and then walked out of there the next day.
Sweet. Well, that's good, man.
Yeah.
I got real nervous when the medical flag was out there and you didn't get up, and I got even more nervous when they said you went in the helicopter, and I was like, oh shit, this isn't.
Yeah,
this
I'm
isn't
sure.
good.
Did they announce that on TV?
Yes. Well, I don't know if they said. Actually, they might have said that they airlifted you. I feel like they did because that was how I knew that they said they airlifted you to whatever Atlanta hospital, whatever. I don't fucking know. Yeah, and I think that was. I think that was during Race Day Live. I think it was all during Race Day Live that they said that. So, they were pretty on the ball with knowing what was happening with you, but then again, not having any other information. And I'm like, dude, I don't have his parents' information. I don't have Chris, who takes you to the line. I don't have his information to be like, hey, what's going on with Kev? So I finally the next day messaged Max and was like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, oh, don't worry, Kev's gonna let everybody know soon. I'm like, okay, well that's that's better. And then I think I saw the
that's what he said.
Yeah, he was like, Kev's gonna let everyone know what's going on real soon. And I'm like, oh, okay, well he must not be dead then, so that's a big positive.
Yeah.
And I think I saw you post a little video in the helicopter or something, and I was like, well, he must not be super fucked up if he's posting videos in the helicopter. So that eased it a little bit, but for a while there, I was a little nervous. Like, shit. Yeah. I don't know what to do because I don't know. Just watch this happen on TV, and I don't know what to do now. It's a weird feeling.
Yeah.
It's one thing, when you're just watching a race and somebody gets carted off and you have no idea who they really are, and you're just like, whatever, Then when it's somebody you're like, what do I do with my hands? Do I call someone?
Yeah,
who would I even
exactly.
call? I don't know. So okay, I have more questions. So do you call your parents and hey, I'm in the helicopter? How does this go?
No, so when Josh Cartwright gave me my phone, because obviously I don't want to say I was in shock by any means, but I just took one hell of a hit, right?
Yeah.
So when he was giving me my phone, I just told him, I was like, well, he originally had my phone. He's like, hey, who can I call on your phone to let know what's going on? I was like, give me my phone. And then I was like, I'm going to give you my mom and dad's number, or my brother's number, and then my mom and dad's number. I'm going to give you everybody's number, and you call whoever you can get a hold of.
Yep.
So that was kind of how it happened. And he probably called my parents, which I didn't even ask them how that whole situation worked. But yeah, they were obviously pretty freaked out.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I can imagine, because it's a scary situation when you don't know exactly what's going on type deal. And like I said, it's really weird because obviously being around racing, when you're at the local track, your girlfriend's with you, your brother's with you, your parents, someone who knows other people that are integral to if something major happens to you are with you, and they can get a hold of people. But I'm at the pro races, I don't know who's with him that calls people or whatever. So because it's well, I guess a lot of the older guys have wives or whatever that are there. So okay, cool, they can figure everything out. But it's he's a kid, man. He doesn't have a girlfriend that's there. He doesn't have a wife that's there. So okay, so next question: how do we Is it health insurance that's covering this helicopter ride? Is it Feld?
Dude,
covers?
I have no idea.
Okay, you just took it and you're like, whatever.
Yet. Well, no, yeah. I mean, I haven't seen a bill yet. Yes, we have insurance, but I'm honestly interested to see what this kind of bill is because I've looked it up and we were all taking guesses and stuff. I guarantee that helicopter ride alone is probably $50,000.
Oh yeah, easy, absolutely easy.
Yeah.
Dude, I think the last time I heard about an ambulance ride was $7,000 or some shit like that for a short one.
Yeah, exactly. So if obviously, hopefully, we'll pay our deductible and then the insurance will cover it all. And if they don't, then we're gonna have to. Your boy's gonna have to be grinding on Patreon big time.
I'm sorry, I don't laugh because it's actually funny. I just laugh because it's a situation that everybody's always I don't know how I'm gonna pay these medical expenses. So
yeah, exactly.
Oh man. Oh well.
Part of the game, though.
Yeah, it is, man. It always is. So, okay. So, what's the plan now here? Because obviously, before we got on the phone here, you told me you were booking Salt Lake City tickets and stuff like that. So, what's the plan here for this week and going forward here the next couple weeks?
My mom and dad and my brother already had tickets to come out and watch the last East round.
Okay.
So not the East-West shootout, but the last actual East round.
Yep.
And so they already had tickets. The deal for this coming weekend is I'll probably not be racing this weekend. So I went ahead and booked a flight, and we're just going to go out there and kind of use it as a vacation kind of deal.
Okay.
And then I'm going to see if I can somehow persuade and get myself into Race Day Live, like doing some talking on TV and whatnot.
Okay.
Kind of since I've been up there a little bit and kind of been talked about quite a bit. So I'm going to see what I can finagle when it comes to that.
That a boy.
And then, so just go out there, enjoy it with the family. And then then we'll fly back Tuesday. So I'm going up there Thursday, we'll fly back Tuesday. And if I'm feeling up to it at that point, if I really want to go out and race the East-West shootout, I can drive up there and represent. But realistically, I'm not going to say that's not going to happen, but it's probably just smarter just to wait till outdoors to make sure we're healed up. You know what I mean?
Yep. So realistically, what you're saying is you're bringing your bike over to Travis's place here so we can get that thing looking prime for outdoor season. Is that what I'm hearing here?
We ought to.
Dude, you know what we should do? If you're not racing that last round, you should come up here. We should do your bike shit, and then we should do a show to wrap the season in studio. That's what we should do.
That would be pretty lit.
We could make some shit happen there if you're not racing, because then that way, like I said, we get the bike going. We can do an in studio show. That would be cool.
I'd be about that.
Okay, well, let's see how you feel here the next week, and let's figure this out. Because if we're gonna do it, we can make some shit happen. So,
alrighty, sweet. Because I don't know. I'm looking at right now. I just called my local dealership to see if they have any 450s available, and I'm thinking that I might pull the plug on getting a new 450 to make that a race bike, and then I think we might end up doing 450 in outdoors.
That a boy, hell yeah! Dude, trust me, I'll clean the shop out. I got the track ready out here. Just finished that up today because the kids' bike's supposed to be done within the next week here. So like we're ready. We're ready to roll. All the tracks around here are opening up, man. Like we're ready to rock and roll.
Hell yeah!
Bring the practice bike. We'll go ride. We'll be here for a couple days. We'll go ride. We'll get your bike done. It'll be awesome. Yeah, we'll do this shit. So, oh man,
good.
That's a good plan there. God, I'm good at this stuff sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, do you have you got some more time so we can talk about the race, or you got something you got to do?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Well, that's why it took so long to get everything done before.
All right, sweet. So, let's go back a few days here to the day you crashed, because I'm sure you've seen this. Let's talk about the McAdoo situation from a racer's perspective on Tuesday. So McAdoo goes out, obviously just torpedoes himself, much like you did, however, into a much bigger face, and then just flips himself all around, and we all think he's dead. And then next thing we know, we hear a hot mic during the commercial break on the app, and him begging, like, no, I'm good. I'm going to go ride. Like, I'm fine. So from a racer's perspective, because we've all argued about this all week, should he have raced? Should he not have raced? Is the medical exam really that good type deal? Whatever. What do you think from a racer's perspective?
From, like, what he was going through or what he was thinking or what?
No, I mean, we all know he's thinking championship. He's thinking, you know, I guess that's the biggest thing on his mind is championship. Like, if I don't race this, I'm out of this title fight altogether. I want to know from like another racer, because obviously you race the 250 class also, and then even in the 450, it's not like something like this could not happen. You're out there, you see some dude torpedo himself, they throw a red flag for him, and then you see him on the gate, like, Is that okay in your mind? Is that not okay in your mind? I
think, you want my honest opinion?
Yeah. Yes, I would.
I think Cameron McAdoo is a damn warrior.
Okay.
I thought that was so impressive. From like a doctor's point of view, kid's an idiot. He should have just sat out. He was clearly messed up a little bit. Like, yes, he was claiming he remembered everything, but you just took a good slam, and it looked like you were KO'd when you landed. Not going to lie.
Yeah.
So from that point of view, probably should have just sat it out. From a racer's point of view and him being in a championship position, 100%, you cannot get off of that track. You have to get back on that track.
Yep.
Because as soon as you get off that track and you say, oh, I'll just come back at them next weekend, championship hopes are right out the door.
Yep. Which now they are kind of anyway, but.
Yeah, well, that was just Marchbanks really just wanted to say F you to Mitch, pretty much is what I took that as.
Yeah, and you want to know why you'll never ride a factory bike again? That right there, son.
Stuff like that.
That's exactly why you won't ride a factory bike again. So,
yeah, because
that was just a completely uncalled. I mean, dude, you watch that, and he was not going for anything but McAdoo's front wheel. It's like number one,
there's no way. Like you take McAdoo and just freaking cast a spell on him, something make him disappear. Marchbanks is off the backside of that berm.
Oh yeah. He had no intentions of making that turn. None whatsoever.
No.
And the best part is I'm just like, dude, you're not even fighting for a position that matters. So what you literally are just trying to slap Mitch in the face that hard, and you think this is going to go well for you in this little itty bitty industry we're in? Stupid.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid. Now, that brings up another point. So you have McAdoo slams the other day. He then in practice slams himself again. I mean, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking Gumby here.
That's why I'm saying, dude.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I'm just saying, like, homie's a warrior. That's what I'm saying. Like, dude hits the ground, like you said, hit the ground 9 times, get up 10. Like, literally, he has done that.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to start looking at it almost from a moral standpoint of, like, from a moral standpoint.
He wrecked because he's not capable of being where he needs to be.
Yeah.
He wrecked because he's tired and he's fatigued and he's hurting.
Yeah, and this is where I get into the moral standpoint of the owner, okay? Which, again, we all like Mitch, okay? Mitch is a great guy, but, dude, you got to know when to pull him, okay? There's no reason McAdoo should have rode last night. When he took that slam in practice there off that triple, Mitch should have been like, dude, you're done. Like, you fucking about died on Tuesday. I mean, fuck, you go all the way back to last Saturday. We're in the qualifier or in the heat race. He's battling Hunter Lawrence there and then goes completely sideways on the top of the fucking tunnel and then falls off the tunnel.
Yeah.
Then you go to Tuesday, and he fucking torpedoes himself. Then you go to Saturday again, and he's trying to do this quad. He can't keep himself over the bike where he needs to when he cases it, and he just, boom, catapults himself off the triple. Like, at that point, as an owner, you need to look at him and be like, look, dude, you have a contract for next year. You're good. You're going home. Just, you're done. Because, I mean, then you look at it. Yeah, did he make it through that race last night? Yeah, but how many times did he go down in that race? He went down in the whoops the first time. He did something there, and apparently that's what caused. He went down in that one triple section.
You might not like this, but I would have to say that even if Mitch, this is the way I believe. And I feel like McAdoo's kind of came up a little bit the way I have, like, looked over for a long time and then working his ass off to get his opportunity, right?
Yep.
Probably won't like this, but I would have to say, even if Mitch told him that you're not racing, he would probably look at him and be like, I'm racing. You know what I mean? Like, if I was in that position and if I'm hurting, I wouldn't give a rat's ass because he's, like, probably worked harder than any other kid that's been on that team. You know what I mean?
Yep, 100%.
It sucks because health-wise he shouldn't be out there, but, like, pure just grit and, like, want and hunger, that's, like, I mean, I don't want to say, obviously, I have that because I'm not in a championship position.
Yep.
But I'd love to believe that I do. You know what I mean? That's kind of the way I would imagine myself. And, yeah, I don't know, dude. It's wild. But, yeah, I don't know, dude.
See, and I don't disagree with you to that extent. And when I was your guys' age, same thing. oh, my leg's broken in 3 places. Well, why don't we just wrap it up and I'll go ahead and go ride? Like, that sounds like a good idea, you know? But like I said, that's where it comes down to the experience and knowledge of someone older who owns the team literally saying, you're not riding my bike. I fear for the health of you. And like we said, and like I keep saying, it then caused more issues in the main. You have him go down in that first one, and then apparently whatever happened there where he went down, we didn't really see it. Then Blos like pile drove himself into the ground or something, and I guess he's okay. But his team owner's real mad, like big mad.
At who?
I don't think he's mad at McAdoo, but he's very upset at the powers that be that allowed him to ride the other night, and then like yesterday with that slam too. He there's a big post on the AJE Instagram of him saying that, you know, a certain rider shouldn't have been out there, couldn't ride because he was so injured he couldn't hold the bike properly, and then caused another accident, which thankfully our rider's okay, but it was very touch and go for a while, which I don't even know exactly what happened to Blos last night. Like, I have zero idea. Yeah. You couldn't see it on the replay. All I saw was like McAdoo going down and Kelly running him over, and I guess Blos like ran over his back and ripped his jersey, but I have no idea what happened to Blos after that. And I mean, and then you run into the Marchbanks teeing him up.
Do we know what his? Yeah. Do you know what happened to Blos? Like, what is there? Do we know what his injuries are?
I have no idea. I saw a thing on his story, or somebody's story. His wife had sent a message that like he's conscious, he can feel everything. I don't remember. He said
he can feel everything. It was that gnarly.
Yeah, it was.
Oh my goodness!
From my understanding, it was pretty bad. I don't know if he like pile drove himself neck first into something after he ran over McAdoo or what, but yeah. So that, like I said, and the team owner's really not happy about the fact that McAdoo went down so many fucking times that hard and was still able to race, even though he couldn't really hold on. Which, even me not knowing technique great, watching McAdoo ride last night, I'm like, dude, he like watching him ride in practice. I'm like, he cannot hold the bike. Like, his legs could not squeeze that bike. They couldn't squeeze the bike the other night after he pile drove himself into the tunnel. And then you get 3 days later and it's worse. And then he catapults himself. And I'm like watching. I'm like, dude, he's barely holding on. Like, you blow a stiff breeze at him at this point and he's going to fall off that bike. So, I don't know. It's wild, but that title is now over. Cooper has that well in hand now after last night's fiasco. And then, I mean, Hunter Lawrence didn't have anything for luck last night. I actually thought Hunter Lawrence was going to win that race because he looked phenomenal all day. Absolutely phenomenal.
I honestly was expecting him to win too.
I was calling it all day. I'm like, Hunter's going to win. Everybody watch.
Yeah.
So question for you. They put in a giant set of whoops there. It was like 18, and then I think they cut it down to like 16. Probably Roger said something,
Dude,
you know.
When Roxon and Webb can't even get through them, I was slightly happy I was not racing.
My thing is, you're going to put a big-ass set of whoops like that in. Why do you not, like, put a bowl berm before it? Instead, you have this flat-ass, wide-open corner. Like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Like, you need a bowl berm so you can carry some speed to get going for 18 whoops. That's twice as long as normal.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was gnarly. It definitely claimed people. So, okay, here's a question for you. We have this gigantic track, okay, for 3 races.
Yep.
Twice as long, you know, they keep going on and on and on. In your opinion, on any of them, was there really anywhere to pass that was great?
Not really, man.
Okay, thank you.
Especially with the slight turning snaking back and forth. You know what I mean? Like not like I'm not talking turns. I'm just talking like the slight snaking back and forth where everybody's just going from inside to inside to inside.
Yep.
Everybody's taking the same line, dude.
Yep. Okay, cool.
The rhythms were nice. Like that big rhythm after, for instance, like after the gnarly whoop section. What is this? This isn't last night, was it? Yeah, this was last night.
Yeah.
The rhythm after that, like that was, you could separate in that. You could go, I think they're going 3 on, off, like triple, table over 2, single Lee inside or something like that.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't get that line, you'd lose some time, but everywhere else, like let's even talk about after that. You're turning, you're going double, turn, okay, wall. Everybody's pretty much going wide, going 3-3, double. And then everybody, like that's like such a fast, you're coming in so fast and like you're taking the same line unless you want to march bank somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole section kind of after that is that zigzagging section where you're just taking the same line. And then you hit the finish line, you turn, you have that 2-2, turn 2-2. Like that was kind of interesting, but it was either you're taking that inside rut or you're going wide to go 2-2. Through the sand, you can make up some time if you're just kind of gnarly.
Mm-hmm.
And then through those whoops, you can obviously make up some time. And then after that, like it becomes one line. Like you go over the tabletop, go by the mechanics area, the little snake section where you're going inside. Like it was pretty tough to pass. I feel like
okay.
I wasn't there racing it, but that's my thoughts.
Well, let's go back to 1 and 2, the ones you were there. Did you feel like there was a lot of good passing spots in either of those, or?
No, not really.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of. I mean, dude, when you have 3 tracks that are all similar, like it's tough to kind of remember which one's which.
Yeah.
But like the 2 and 3 were pretty much identical, like pretty close. And no, because the whoops were obviously a separator, but then the rhythm section, I don't know, man. I would have to say no, because I like the normal supercross, where you have tight 180 bull turns, you have 90s and everything. The whole, as soon as you bring supercross into a zigzaggy outdoor style, yeah, it can play into some riders' favor, like if they're gnarly with just sending it. Yeah. But setting somebody up is so much harder when you always funnel back in to a one-line snaking section. All the work you do that whole lap could go away in that section every single time. Yep.
Because, watching it on TV, and obviously not being there, I didn't get to see everything. But it, to me, thinking back after 1 and 2, I'm like, man, we didn't really see passing. Were the races exciting? Yes. Why were the races exciting? Because you had this gnarly stuff happen. You had the McAdoo crash. You had lots of different crashes all over the place with people. And, that created issues. But as far as, actually dudes setting other guys up and passing them in this corner or that corner, you just didn't see it. And then, last night, you had, that long whoop section. And, that was pretty much the section that defined everything, because it was either you made it through or you didn't make it through. I mean, there must have been 10 guys yesterday that crashed in those whoops just in the night show. That's not in practice. So yeah, it was. They
looked brutal.
Yeah, it was gnarly, but like I said, I don't feel like, even though it was bigger, I don't necessarily think it was better than some of these other rounds we've had where the tracks have really lent themselves to some good racing, like Arlington and things like that. Okay, moving to... Is there anything else you saw in 250s last night that really caught your eye as interesting?
No, just the McAdoo.
I was going to say...
Just the McAdoo situation.
The McAdoo situation... Oh, I guess one other thing. Can we talk about Thrasher winning 2 LCQs and then winning the main both times? What the fuck's up with that?
Dude, I have no idea. I have no words for that.
Watching that last night, I'm like, is this kid really going to do this again? He's going to win the LCQ and then go on and win the main. Really? I don't know.
Yeah, dude, I don't know.
Just wild. I mean, the West Coast has been good, though. We've had, God, what did they have on there? There was 5 or 6 different people that have won races now, I think. Because let's see, you got McAdoo, Cooper.
Yeah, I don't know.
McAdoo, Cooper, Thrasher, Hammaker, who else? Oh, Hunter Lawrence.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, yeah, so 5 guys. That's not bad. 5 winners in 9 races, basically. So that's all right. It's good average. So, okay, 450s. Once again here, man, I thought we were going to get lucky and things were going to tighten up. Can I just say, okay, let me just rant here for just a second. I am so frustrated with Kenny. So frustrated.
Oh, dude, I know.
Like, bro, do something. Do something. I don't care if you ride beside him going into the corner and, like, jump off your bike and tackle him. Fucking do something. Act like you want to win this title.
Yeah, dude.
Bro, last night was so sad that I wanted to, like, punch a wall. It, like, it has no bearing on me. But I'm like, bro, you crashed in the whoops. You had a 12-second lead. You all right over there?
Yep, we're good.
Okay, all right. Anyway, you crash in the whoops. You had a 12-second lead. You get up. You still have a 6-second lead. That crash wasn't that bad. Might have bent your bars a little bit. You're fine. Then you literally just lose 6 seconds over the course of the next, like, 3 fucking laps. And then when he gets to you, all you do is go to the outside, see it's him, and stop. What the fuck are you doing? I don't understand.
Yeah, man.
Like, I just don't get it. Would you ever do that?
No. I wanted him to, like, somehow retaliate.
Yeah.
But it did make it exciting when Cooper made that last mistake on that last lap. And I was like, come on, Kenny, just send it into him somehow.
Oh my God. I know. I was like, dude, like, I really thought when Coop made that mistake, I was like, oh, no way. He's going to beat him sprinting down this long ass straightaway. And then of course that didn't happen. But man, dude, just like, I cannot believe how much Kenny, it doesn't feel like he wants this. Like, he has had so many opportunities to do anything. You don't even have to hit the guy. Just take him high. Like, bro, you went to the outside, okay? Maybe you didn't know he was right there, which, again, I don't know how you don't know he's right there. And then you see it, and you just stop, and you just let him go. Like, bro, just pivot and drive to the outer edge of the... Pull a Marchbanks. Just drive to the other edge of that corner, man. Straight line. Just be like, oh, sorry, my bad. Like, do something. Anything. I'm begging you. But, nope, he didn't. Webb's got 16 on him now, and, I mean, do you see any... I mean, barring Webb having just a complete meltdown or bike failure... I don't see any way he loses this.
Nope.
How
wild would it be if, like, say Webb doesn't make the main, say Roxon gets second in the first main, so then they're separated by, like, 2 points. That is my dream scenario going into the final round.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
That's not going to happen, though.
Yeah, no. But that would be awesome. But I mean, dude, anything could happen. I mean, look at that Atlanta one. Like you said, Dino didn't make the main, so wilder things have happened. I mean, Webb could go down. He could bend the bike up. He could have a major problem. Or even Atlanta 2 style. Atlanta 2, Webb looked like complete crap. And last night he did not look good until about the last 4 laps of that main. And then he started turning on. Like, at one point, I was like, dude, Bam Bam and Tomac are going to get him. He's going to get 4th. We're going to be down to, like, 2 points with 2 rounds to go. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And then just nothing.
That'd be sick.
And then just nothing.
Yeah.
Then just let him go by. Like, you're at the practice track just trying to turn heaters in between people.
Yeah. What
a waste. What a waste. Outside of that, in the 450 class, man, there wasn't a whole lot. I mean, you have Webb wins, Kenny second, Eli's third. Eli.
How do we feel about Tomac?
Tomac won a supercross title. Tomac's got 3 outdoor titles. Tomac's got fucking $20 million in the bank and is probably lucky if he spends $10,000 a year living in the goddamn woods in the mountains. Tomac just signed a new 2-year deal to probably make another $5 million. before he retires, he's good. He doesn't care. If he's fast,
I think he's just going for race wins and longevity of his little bit of his career, but he's accomplished everything he's wanted to do.
Yep. I think at this point, he's like, if it's there and I can win it, cool.
Now he's just having fun with it.
Yep. He does not care. Like, I don't see him winning a title again before he retires. I see him being a more fun-loving racer now at this point because all the pressure's off. He's going to collect that paycheck, and then 2 years from now, he's probably going to sail off into the sunset, and we'll never hear from him again. You'll find him like 20 years from now in the mountains of Colorado with a beard that goes down to his knees and 18 kids in a cabin with his wife, and yeah, that'll be it, man.
Oh my goodness.
That's it. There we are. That's all that'll happen.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
Let's see. Anything else? Man, dude, the 450 was really uneventful last night outside of the Webb and Kenny thing. Because I can't really think of anything else. Kenny, that crash that he had in the whoops, you could not get any luckier to crash in the whoops than what Kenny did. Like,
yeah, for
that
real.
was smooth dismount to just going, oh shit, that almost happened. So,
yeah,
man, we have. Oh, can we talk about? Do you know Rod Bell? Do you know him at all?
No, I don't really know him. I know of him, obviously, but him wrecking the LCQ?
Yeah, like I really thought he was going to finally make a main. I was like, oh my god, this is going to be awesome. Except for the fact it was going to really fuck my fantasy.
Has he not made one?
I don't think he's made a main. I don't think Rob Bell's ever made
I don't think he has either.
He's only, dude,
Are you serious?
He's only 20 years old.
No way.
Yeah, like he's younger than you, man. I don't think he's raced any 250s. I think he just he's raced 450 outdoors. And maybe he did before, but I don't know. Because he didn't really come on my radar until last year when he was crushing it outdoors in 450s. And then, supercross-wise, it has not gone well for him. So, he
usually sends it in outdoors.
Oh, yeah. Like, outdoors, he's sick. Like, he's pretty good. Because he was he getting top 10s last year, I thought? In motos. I thought he was.
Maybe.
I think he was. Because we saw him because of that, and then he always was throwing on the sight laps or the parade laps, whatever, for the motos last year. He was always throwing like sick whips over Laracos and stuff. So,
that's sick.
Oh yeah, like he was like one of the last dudes to come around, and he would just throw like sick oppos and big nasty whips on Laracos. So yeah, so hopefully he makes one here, but who knows? Let's see. Plessinger had a pretty decent night. Again, minor issues.
Yeah.
And just small, stupid mistakes on his part. But man, he's picked it up a lot. I don't know if he's going to get one before the end of the year here. But
no, I don't think he will. But he's on the right move. Dude.
Yeah. Did you hear that? You hear he's got a deal on the table from KTM?
No way.
Yeah.
What are they pulling the plug on Mooseman?
I don't know if they're pulling the plug on him or if they're going to 3 next year. I think Marv's retiring anyway.
Wow.
I heard that Marv wanted out before this year anyway. Like, he didn't want to ride this year, and they told him, nah, you got to ride.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know if Marv is going to ride another year or not. I've heard through the grapevine multiple ways that they're going to run 3, whether Marv's there or not. But yeah, I heard he's got an offer from KTM, and I don't think he should take it at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that Star Racing Yamaha suits him pretty well.
Yeah, well, they give him a bunch of freedom there.
That's the only bike I would say not to get. Like, it's either KTM or Yamaha.
Well, yeah, 450 wise, I don't know about that. I don't know about the Yamaha, but so the Red Bull KTM team, you can't beat the team as far as the resources and stuff, but they're going to tie him down and try to tame him, and you cannot tame that man. If you do...
That is true. Like, I don't want Aaron AP to lose AP. You know what I mean? Like just his personality and everything.
Well, what ends up happening is the same stuff that you had happen to him the last couple of years, okay? You saw how the last couple of years went. Not great. Why did the last couple of years go not great? Because Factory Yamaha was trying to tie that man down and not let him have any freedom or fun. And then you get back to Star Yamaha, and they understand how Aaron works, and they're like, okay, cool, man, go have your freedom and fun. And so he goes and has his freedom and fun, and look at this. Now we're battling for wins. We're battling for heat race wins. Like, we're up there. We're getting podiums. Like, we're in it. Like, we're really in it. So, yeah. So I think the KTM deal is awesome, and I think you should... Oh, God, hold on. Oh, shit. And I think he should use it to his full advantage to try and get more money out of Yamaha. But I don't think he should go there.
Yeah.
He's not going to do well. Alden can't juice him up and make him better, okay?
Yeah.
So, dude, Chase Sexton's been fast too. Like, have you noticed?
Yeah, for real, though.
Like, we all know he was fast, but then he gets 2 seconds in a row, and I don't know where he finished last night. I can't remember. But he has been really, really... He is one that would not surprise me in the next 2 weeks to see him pull a win out of his ass here, because he's been knocking on the door for that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, did you... well, I guess you didn't... You never went and did that school with AJ, huh?
No, I was really looking forward to it, though. Him and AP.
Me too. That would have been awesome. I want to know what those schools are like. I mean, I watch his videos, but you never really know.
I know.
So, by the way, great job on that podcast. I know I told you already, but great job on that podcast. Everyone go check out Behind the Gate.
I appreciate it.
With Kevin Moranz and AJ Catanzaro there. And, yeah, check that out. Kev did a great job. There's some very interesting subjects they touch on there. And, yeah, it's a good one. Go listen to it. I listen to the whole thing, and I talk to Kev all the time. So,
oh, yeah, there you go.
yo, bro, you should tell him to DM me back, though. All right? You should be like, bro.
Oh, who, AJ?
Yeah, my boy's got a podcast. He DM'd you, like, months ago. You never hit him back. He's sad. He would really like to talk to you. So
yeah, I'll hit him up.
Outside of that, I don't think I have anything else, man. Short show this week because we didn't have all the other lunatics on here that blow smoke up my ass about how good things are. Justin wants everyone to know that Cooper Webb is the man. I told Justin he can go fuck himself. So that's a thing. Yeah. So I guess we're onward, bro. Enjoy your time in Salt Lake there with the fam. Let's
I appreciate that.
We'll get this figured out here. If you're not doing the last race, hopefully you feel good enough to go do the shootout, but if not, we'll get this figured out of getting you up here to get the bike looking fresh for outdoors.
Yeah, definitely.
Fresh. So, all right.
Looking forward to it, my man.
Oh yeah. Cool. Well, man, we will talk. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming on and helping me kind of talk about this here, because otherwise I'd have been sitting here talking to myself, and that's never a good time. So,
yeah, no, it's all good, my man.
All right. Well, thanks, buddy. We'll talk soon, and thanks everyone for tuning in. This has been another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show, episode 165. Check out all the sponsors, links in the description below, and we will talk to everyone soon.